Hi, everybody. It's me, Mav, and we're live. This is the Xbox Ultimate Podcast live. We have a awesome show again this week for everybody here. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got some really cool announcements we're going to be making very soon, as well as some fun topics to talk about. This is the second show of the new year. We had a fun show on New Year's Day for a celebration where we have a lot of people, and there was some cool stuff that happened on that show that maybe we're going to make one announcement today regarding somebody that was on that show, maybe two announcements. But first, before we get to that, I want to welcome some very special guests that we have with our podcast. I learned my lesson last week. Caitlin wants to be first. She said that she needs to be introduced first. So first in my heart, and also first to be introduced, is my co-host of the Xbox Ultimate Podcast, my beautiful wife, Caitlin. Hi, baby.
Are we having some audio issues or video issues?
I don't think so.
Maybe it's just on my end. I keep seeing you like freeze every once in a while.
Yeah,
it happened a bit on my end once, but
it looks okay right now to me.
Okay,
I don't know.
Cool.
Just occasionally. I see it.
You're not going to say hi. You're just going to point out the technical flaws.
I said hi first.
Okay.
Who's the one pointing out when I make mistakes now?
Hey, you posted a video that I forgot to push in a chair on Twitter. So, hey.
I just wanted to publicly let you know.
Okay.
Maybe that will work this time.
Well, this is even more public now, so. All right. Next, we also have first time on this show. I have talked to this guy before. He's awesome. I have been, I think I talked to him twice on their fairly new podcast. It's called Project X Talk. It's an Xbox podcast you can find on YouTube in the description below. I've had him on the show before where we've talked, and also I was a guest, I think, on their first. I was their first guest, actually, so it was kind of an honor. But here we have Tom. Say hello, Tom.
How's it going, Xbox people? I'm glad to be on this podcast for the first time and representing Project X Talk. Let's have fun.
Yes, sir. Now, most of you, I think every one of you in this chat right now knows this man very well. He is a podcaster on YouTube. He does amazing interviews. I'm jealous of his interview skills. I was just talking about it with him, and he actually prepares for doing interviews, which is something I need to learn how to do. He has an amazing YouTube channel, and I aspire to be like this guy one day. So everybody say hello to Stubbs from Stubbs Gaming YouTube channel.
Wow, I thought you were talking about someone else then. Thanks for the compliment. You're a very good rising star of YouTube. You are, my friend. You're doing very well. And you're doing very well with this podcast. And in general, you seem to be doing very well in the interviews on Four Guys with Quarters. You're really learning how to podcast. I'm still new to starting podcasting. February of last year, I started doing it. So I'm still new, really, but thanks for the invite. And it is 9 minutes past 2 and 9 minutes past 2 in the morning here in England.
Yes. So thank you again also for staying up super late, or actually going to sleep and setting your alarm, waking up just to be on our show. It makes me feel very special that you would do that. I remember we actually asked a while back, hey, we wonder if we can make this work, because we do it late here, even in the States, it's pretty late time slot. So I kind of knew that I was kind of leaving some of my UK friends out. We've had Assassin Lupa on here, but her schedule is 24/7. I don't know how she stays awake that much, but she does.
No, I don't.
But it was an honor to actually be able to have you on here, Stubbs. So thank you for that.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Now I have a little announcement to make here, guys, regarding this guy that you see and on the camera here. We also have gotten some interesting comments about his face, and that some people like to look at him. So one of the reasons asking him back is just for some eye candy for the viewers. So we have 3-Bit here, who, if you're familiar with this podcast, you've seen him pretty much here every week. And it's because I won't leave him alone, and I keep harassing him, sending him DMs, because I love having him on the show. And he's a official panel member of this show. I just want to make that clear to everybody. I want to acknowledge that. No pressure to him. If he can't make it, you're a busy guy.
Every single Friday.
So I would like to say welcome as official panel member of Xbox Ultimate Podcast Live. So thank you so much, 3-Bit, for agreeing to do that. And you can look forward to seeing him pretty much every week, unless he's too busy for us, guys. So yay, 3-Bit. And say hello, sir.
Guys, hello. How are you guys? My name is 3-Bit. Only drinking a little bit this time. Okay, I'm just having a little bit of a margarita because and it was really funny. But yeah, I'm doing good, and it's good to see Alpaca on here. I was on Project X Talk with him, and that was really fun. I was with Dirk Griggity, and that was the first time I was speaking to Dirk Griggity. Really fun. Yeah, this is I've been on the show almost every Friday, and now a full member, as Mav has said. So I'm excited to be on this journey with you guys, and try and make it with every show. So hello.
So I super appreciate you, man. Honestly do.
Yep.
But we have one more special little surprise and announcement to make. Now we had this person on last week, and we thought he did such a good job. And I was in the car with my wife, and she was like, "Hey, we should ask him to be full time."
I'm the wife.
Yeah, the hashtag the wife. To be a full time with us every week, full time panel member. And then I looked at my phone and saw that somebody else had beat us to it and had asked him as well. And I was like, okay, well, he's not going to have time to do both. So it is what it is. But then we kind of got to talking yesterday, me and this man, and he had agreed that he actually wanted to do this one as well. So I have a surprise for everybody. Welcome to the 4th full-time member now of Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Say hello to Mr. Pong Soul.
Hey! What's going on, everybody?
So I know you. I don't know how much of that you could hear, Pong, because you were sitting in the other channel. But I just introduced you as the 4th full-time member of Xbox Ultimate Podcast. So we're looking forward to have you every week. And I super appreciate the fact that you even wanted to do this and that you're willing to do this to make time for us, man.
Well, first, of course, I got to thank Caitlin for being the one who brought it up. Obviously, Mav didn't want me. So, that's fine at all. So I'll take one of you to want me. So that's great. Not a problem. So thank you, Caitlin. Second of all, so appreciative for the opportunity, Mav. I love you guys and everything you're doing here, and everybody else that's involved with this 3-Bit. And all your guests that you have on. Tom, Stubbs, I'll be on with you tonight. But I do appreciate the opportunity. I love this. Love talking about video games. Now, I got to say, I was going to show my face until I realized I was on here with a male model. You did not tell me that people wanted 3-Bit. So now I'm not going to show my face.
The comment got removed last week, but it was there. I took a screenshot of it and I sent it to 3-Bit and DM. He has a fan out there. So
all right.
Yeah, apparently.
Right. Well, let's get down to business. I'm excited for the show. I can't believe I'm on the show with Stubbs finally. I've been listening to him for quite a while now. As he knows, I'm always in his chat checking him out, and he's amazing. And I can't wait to hear what Tom has to say as well. This is going to be a good show.
Do you sleep, Pong?
Yes, I do.
You do? I just wonder.
And I proved to everybody I'm not a bot. Now I'm on 2 shows. See?
So I have a question though, Pong. How many tabs do you have open right now to different podcasts?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay.
Just 2. So ours, I should say at this point. Thank
Yes,
you very
sir.
much again. Ours, and then GRG, my
Yes,
boys, I Steel and
Steel
Yobi are over
Rain's
there.
going
So I
to be
just want
on
to
there.
say hi to them. So
Yes, sir. Steel Rain and
it.
Yobi are over there right now.
Yep.
So you guys, when you have time, don't abandon me right now. But when you have time, make sure you watch that back. Or if you want to watch over there and then come back and watch this back, or whatever you want to do, I don't care. We're all in the same community. We're all family here. So, man, it's awesome. So, 2021 is starting off right for this show, in my opinion. So now let's get to the task at hand. This is an Xbox podcast, so we actually have to talk about Xbox stuff and not just ourselves. So that'll be interesting. So we start this podcast every week with the fun speculation of the week. Now, if you saw some of this news on Twitter this past week going on about it was interesting. Some Xbox executives actually said in an article or interview reminiscing about the old days back in the year 2000 when they were getting Xbox started. And one of the first things they did actually was go around and talk to different companies about possibly acquiring them. Okay, there's EA, Midway, Square, and Nintendo. Now, they were laughed out of the building by Nintendo. They said it was pretty awkward, and they were laughed at for about an hour straight when they were talking about this. So, but my fun speculation of the week is a hypothetical. It's what if? What if they weren't laughed out of the building back in 2000? What if this actually happened? What if in the year 2000, Microsoft actually acquired Nintendo and had Nintendo games on the Xbox platform, which is what that was all about. Xbox's pitch was, hey, you guys are good at making games. We can make the hardware. So let's go around and talk about this. And I kind of want to start with Tom, I think, on this one. What would the world be like if Nintendo had been purchased by Xbox? What would we see? What would the alternate reality be?
God, they would be the biggest gamed platform, like undebatable at that point. They have Mario, they have Master Chief, they have Zelda. That would be fantastic. I wish that happened. Even though I love Nintendo, it'd just be so cool just to have that experience. But I honestly don't feel like Microsoft would have been able to maintain Mario as well as Nintendo has. I feel like at some point they would have put an assault rifle in his hand and make him shoot some aliens. But
good point.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah, man. Because you have to think, you can't just assume all good, right? You have to think maybe things wouldn't be as peachy as you think it would, right? Maybe some of these franchises wouldn't still be what they are today. You got any thoughts on this, Stubbs? What do you think? What do you think the alternate reality would be? Where would we be at?
It was not very good back then. So it probably would have felt it might not have worked out very well for them. Because I think the attitude, I think I read the article, the attitude was they went in there with the wrong attitude and said, basically, your hardware sucks. Yeah. Basically. Our hardware's good. You know what I mean? It's quite funny.
Pretty much what they said, yeah.
They actually entertain the idea, but that's the way some American companies are. Big corporations think they can go in there with millions of dollars and they just sell. Whereas in Japan, they're a very, very patriotic nation, and their companies have the same ethos. They don't like to sell to westernized companies. So I would like to say it would have worked out well, but I can't really tell, but games-wise, it would have offered a massive variety of games. Yeah. Yes. In the ideal world, yes, it would be incredible. Nintendo's there then with Xbox of now. Wow. Just imagine having all them games and all them games in Game Pass. That would just be mind blowing. But I can't actually. It's a hard one to say because, as you say, it's obviously sounds good, but you've also got to think of the bad side of it too. I know it's not nice to think of, but yeah, it's just one of them things. But in the end, it's a hard one. But if you look at the management, it wouldn't have worked. Idea and concept, it is. Yeah, they're my kind of thoughts on it.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those things. It's like if you're familiar with the Wonder Woman 84, right? Like you wish for something, but it also comes with the cost, right? So,
Yeah.
Hey Pong, you got any thoughts on this? What do you think? What do you think the reality would be if that had actually happened?
All right, so as Stubbs was saying, we like to think of Microsoft as Palmer and Shane Kim would have respected Nintendo's history and the characters that they bring. Let's just say Mario and Zelda as the two main ones. No, I don't. I think it probably would have wound up being a disaster. I think that Sonic the Hedgehog would probably be a bigger name today than Mario if they actually got their hands on it. And I don't say that lightly. I kind of thought about this one. I kind of thought about this one for a while, but honestly, I think they would have tried, because you got to think of when Microsoft was going through their big lawsuit, or just right after. So they were still in the bully mode, right? Those guys were, I mean, again, Microsoft, when they want to do something, they do it. And back then, they didn't care if you said no, right? So for me, I think they would have pushed or tried to Americanize Nintendo and take away some of the core values that Nintendo has as a Japanese company that has kept them relevant all these years and actually made them even bigger. And I think at the end of the day, it would have been an absolute disaster. They probably would have wound up, again, I think that Mario and Zelda would probably be dead at this point. I think they would be a shadow of their former selves. So that's just my opinion.
Grim. That's like a dystopian world right now. You just created a dystopian universe.
Probably.
3-bit, man. Where would we be at, dude? Like, what would happen? Let's say that Nintendo was acquired by Xbox in the year 2000. What would Xbox be today?
You guys bring up really interesting points. I'm in the similar boat with Pong, where it doesn't look very good. Because if you think about the time frame, this was a lot of things before Game Pass. Game Pass probably wouldn't have been a thing. I think Game Pass was a response to, Xbox sort of being left out of certain markets and being more competitive. So Game Pass probably wouldn't exist. And on the Nintendo side, they really mix things up. They know their audience and they really capitalize on their audience. Microsoft would have adhered to that audience. I think they would have tried to bring it more into their fold of what they think Nintendo is like. And as opposed to Nintendo has really deep like mythologies of what they think their brand is. And I think if Xbox sort of took it over, it wouldn't be what it is today.
Now,
I don't think Smash Bros. I don't know how would Smash Bros be a thing. I don't know. Like newer Smash Bros titles. I don't know. Mario has very much evolved over time, and Xbox right now isn't very good at like has a lot of IPs in its book. Not very good at trying out different things with that IP, like Banjo. They have a Banjo. Where's Banjo games? Where's Conquer? They own Conquer. With that in mind, if in some alternate reality, where Xbox takes over Nintendo, yeah, I don't know. I can't picture I think like Pong. I'm gonna steal Pong's answer, where I think Sonic might be more popular. I don't know. It's kind of hard to imagine.
Yeah.
But
I-
Mario is like a staple of Nintendo. They try so much different things with Mario, not just not just one thing. They have like Mario Olympics and like they just
Mario's in every
experiment with them,
Nintendo
like,
game almost at this point.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I don't think Microsoft would do that. I can't
Yeah.
picture a scenario where they will create like a Mario Kart. I can
Yeah.
picture a scenario where they make like a Mario Brothers, but yeah, I don't know.
Good points. Do you have any thoughts on that, babe? No.
I mean,
That's-
the only thing I'll say is I don't know why Sonic isn't more popular.
That's true.
I loved Sonic so much.
Because Sega killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sega murdered.
Sega
They
didn't
make the
really
movie, though.
handle that IP properly,
Yeah,
but I think there's still hope for it because it is such a good character that, Sonic, they're going to keep going back to that well and trying different things and figuring stuff out. And somebody will do something amazing with that IP and that franchise, and actually like the movie.
Yeah, the movie actually proved that there's still popularity, so it's still out there.
So, my thoughts on this is kind of like what you guys are saying. Now, one of the reasons I had this on as a topic is because we all like had this like wishful thinking, and this gets brought up like, hey, Xbox should buy this, Xbox should buy that, Xbox should buy this. But if you really think about sometimes the repercussions of some of this stuff actually happening, you start going down this path of like, wait, maybe that's not the best thing. That not only would Nintendo not be what Nintendo is, but Xbox wouldn't be what Xbox is today. I would go back and say that, okay, let's say that meeting went differently. They struck that deal with Nintendo. Let's say they struck a deal with EA or Midway or those companies. They're less likely at that point to go hunting for other lesser known franchises. A team at Bungie who was only making Apple PC games at the time and had this project they're working on called Halo, right? If they had acquired Nintendo and those, they would be less likely to go and get the rights to them. Besides handhelds that are being forced to be hybrid consoles, right? You could be talking about an interesting thing at that point, but that's up to Nintendo, and Nintendo would still be in control of their games. If you don't want Microsoft being in control of Nintendo games, you don't want Sony being in control of Nintendo. You want Nintendo being in control of Nintendo games, right? So going back and thinking about the possibilities of that, it's always fun. Hey, could you imagine that Metroid RPG we would have got? Like, that'd have been so cool, But it did not happen back then, as well as some of those other deals, because it turned Xbox into what it is today, which I think is going in an amazing direction with what they're doing. Same thing with Nintendo. I just hope Nintendo does get back into the console business at some point.
Mav, but you are forgetting we could have a Square Enix Final Fantasy first-person shooter. It would have gotten bought by Microsoft.
Now that would be pretty cool. I'm not. We're going to talk about a possibility of another game like that, maybe here coming up very soon. But first, I want to talk about the Medium. So there was a new gameplay feature shown on YouTube from Bloober Team. Is on their YouTube channel. Of the Medium, 14 minutes of gameplay, and I had not been like I've been excited for this game. I kind of had some decent hopes for it, but based on alone what the team had created before, I didn't think this was going to be like something like as good as what I think I just saw. Right, what I think I just saw looks like a potential horror classic, and I was surprised. I mean, I got vibes of Resident Evil, vibes of Fear, vibes of Silent Hill. And I think you mentioned another game, babe, in the car that it kind of reminded you of a little bit. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it was it just. I'm thinking this game might be a little bit more special than we're realizing, and we might be having something really cool in store come this next month when it releases. You saw that video with me, babe, but did you have any thoughts on it?
I thought it looked awesome. I've always loved watching you play those horror games.
Yeah,
It looks like a good one.
It's a different take on the genre. Like it kind of like the way that she was progressing through the level kind of looked like Resident Evil style, right?
Yeah.
With it kind of okay, you go to that area, then the camera pans and shows that you know what I mean. It's like it took me back to like Resident Evil 1, you know, Resident Evil 2, and that kind of style, right? And then also another thing is like Alan Wake with the narration and thinking and the thoughts inside the head. So, let's go to Tom again first. Did you have a chance to check that gameplay out?
I did get a chance to look at the trailer for the Medium. It looked really interesting. Like you said, it really has a lot of Silent Hill vibes. I got a lot of Alan Wake vibes from it. It's easily one of the most interesting games, like horror game wise, period, at this time. It's really unique. The two world aspect of the game is fantastic. And the fact that you see the vision, you know, like there's like is there a demon here? Is there not a demon here? The only thing about the trailer that I didn't really like, I guess, was the combat. It didn't seem like there was really any combat in there at all. I know they talked about it previously where the game's not really going to be majorly focused on it, but they're going to have something. I more want to see on that front since that's what's more engaging. Even though these normal horror games, I'm used to playing games like, for example, like Layers of Fear, Amnesia, where you really can't do much to like defend or protect yourself. But it's good to have a little bit more interaction since it gets a little bit more engagement, especially being the first big Xbox Series X, or Series S first exclusive title coming out on Game Pass. I'm really excited. Looks good. Looks beautiful. I'm not sure what kind of ray tracing the game has because they said that it had ray tracing. I'm gonna trace shadows. I'm interested to see some more on that as well.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful graphics too. You know, like you're saying. Stubbs, what do you think, man? And by the way, also Chad, I think let me know. Was I?
Yeah.
Well, I see that it's buffering on YouTube.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Let me try something real quick, guys.
Audio keeps cutting out for me on this
it's
side.
definitely buffering on YouTube also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
keep
just checking.
losing Discord audio.
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to check on a couple things here, just to make sure we're good. We're good still. Yeah, I mean, it says excellent connection on the stream, and yeah, it's weird. It's like on my end, it looks fine. So I don't know. It may just be a YouTube thing right now with buffering, right? YouTube may be struggling a little bit. So sorry about that, guys. If you're having issue, yeah, I think it's a YouTube. I don't think it's anything from our end that we can control. So anyway, we'll move on. So who went last on the Medium? Tom? Was it Tom that went last? Pong? No, Pong. You went last, right?
I could go.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So, Tom brought up some good points about it being like the first exclusive, technically, Series X title. And it's coming to Game Pass, and I've had it preloaded for a while. I've been waiting for this game to come out. The gameplay trailer that I've seen is very it's very creepy. I like fixed camera angles. I like that it's bringing some aspects back from other horror titles.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like over time, like we debate sort of like what horror is, and I think Capcom has this battle often in development, which is why they're like, okay, we want to sort of innovate what a horror game is, but that means giving a person a weapon, right? as opposed to not that the older Resident Evils didn't have that, but it's sort of I don't know. It's like a horror game can be a lot of different things. Like Outlast, you don't have a weapon, and in that case, it can make it scarier in some ways because you can't defend yourself. You're just kind of running away with the camera. I'm interested, like what Tom was saying, in what the mechanics are to combat that. And are you just running away? That's fine because you're probably dealing with people that are outside of your realm, like ghosts and all this different stuff. That's completely fine. But yeah, I just want to know how the mechanics work when you jump in between the different worlds. I think that's going to be interesting, and that's going to make or break the game.
Yeah, you're
able to jump into the different places because it hasn't been done before. So this is sort of the testing ground for people, and I think if we'll see how it works. It looks really interesting. It looks really cool. But this is like the first time it's being done. So usually the first game that does something, the second game usually is where innovate and figure out what's wrong or right with it. The soundtrack looks dope or sounds dope. It has the Silent Hill composer, and in the trailer it has the little bloop, and I thought that was really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be one of those games where the split screen world. That's what I got to say.
Right on. I think I'm afraid we might be losing the stream, guys. I can't tell. It just nope. It's back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's acting crazy. YouTube's acting crazy on me, guys. But it looks like it's going okay right now.
On my end, it says that the video isn't available at selected quality.
Okay. Yeah, and now you froze on me on Discord. So
Damn,
I don't know what's going on, guys. We're just gonna fight through it, I think, right now. But we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. I don't know. What I liked on the medium gameplay is that it actually it kind of showed you how those mechanics are gonna work, right? With the two scenes, right? Like she couldn't do something until she went into the other world. She had to go like traverse to an area she couldn't access in the real world, right? So she kind of like astral planed herself over to like get some energy or whatever, and then brought herself back to complete a task. So that was kind of interesting. I think that it's got some good ideas there.
Stunning. And I love the effect where you're in two different like dimensions at once. And obviously in one dimension that little girl isn't there, and then in the other dimension she's there. Like you can go up the stairs in one dimension, and the other dimension you can't.
Yeah.
Horror isn't my genre because you're all going to laugh at me now. You know that game called Five Nights at Freddy?
Yeah, the teddy bear game.
It scares me. It scares me. They used an artist's work, and that's what their inspiration was. Now I can't tell who artist is because I can't read the name, but it's very good. That video is. But yeah, I'm very impressed with the medium, and I will be giving it a go. Hopefully, it's a game I actually complete.
Yeah, man.
That's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, it surprised me. It really did surprise me. Who has not had a chance to talk about the medium? Because I keep getting distracted watching my stream almost crash and then come back to life.
I haven't, but so Stubbs, you're not alone. I don't like scary games either, so I don't like horror games. However, from watching the video and reading up on it and the different things I've seen, this seems more like a psychological horror than it does a Resident Evil type horror. And this is going to have a lot, I think, from everything I've read and what I've seen, a lot of puzzle solving, which I am very cool with. So I think this is definitely probably going to be something be more like Tom said, the Alan Wake type game, which I can handle. I can handle that stuff. So I definitely think I'm going to hop into this. I think the graphics look good. Excellent, then that's what you get. That's what you're playing. I mean, it doesn't matter if a reviewer thinks it's not. And I really hope for Bloober's sake and for Microsoft's sake that this gets an actual good score. I'm not expecting 90s, but I sure hope it gets into the 80s. I'd really like to see that happen for this team and for Microsoft to finally put out a game. Starting off, I should say, not finally, but I should say starting off the year right with a nicely reviewed game that does actually interest a lot of people and brings maybe some people like myself who are not necessarily horror people and also the horror group into the same game. I think that'd be awesome. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I am going to we're going to take a pause here. And I'm going to kill this stream because YouTube does not like me right now, and we're going to restart a new stream, guys. So we'll be right back. If you turn on your notifications for the channel, you'll get a notification right as soon as the new stream goes live. Also, if you just hang out on the channel, you should see it pop up, or if you look at my Twitter account, Fun Speculation, you'll see it. So I'm going to restart that now, and we'll be right back in just a little bit, guys, and hopefully the problems are gone. Which, as I've been talking ever since then, there has not been a problem. So I don't know if it's fixed. Let's give it one more minute.
You're still cutting out a little bit.
Am I still cutting out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We will be back, guys. We'll be back with new stream.